Falcons will not return to Fulton County Stadium this year. The Birds have flown the coop and moved their nest inside the Georgia Dome. The deck certainly was stacked in Atlanta's favor Sunday as a faithful following turned out for the first regular season game.
Let's go Falcons! Let's go!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Georgia Dome, home of the Atlanta Falcons. From the University of Oklahoma, number 25.
From bottom to top, turf to Teflon, the new dome is an impressive structure, and it was sold out to see two wild card teams from a year ago start the season.
1, 2, 3.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
On the Jets' first play from scrimmage, quarterback Browning Nagel lost control, and although the Jets apparently recovered the loose ball, the officials awarded it to Atlanta. The Falcons couldn't wait to get their Haynes in the end zone, and one brief play later, Atlanta jockeyed its way to a score.
Into the end zone, throws, touchdown.
Chris Miller to Michael Haynes. For the Falcons, it was a picture-perfect start.
Special key under, you ought to have it pretty. Yeah. And if this inside backer.
While Miller looked for more holes to run and shoot through, New York tried to correct its mistakes.
It doesn't matter what they do. What matters is how we execute. And that's that's the whole key, the whole ball of wax here is what we do.
What the Jets did was watch Haynes score his second touchdown of the quarter on Atlanta's next possession.
Haynes is in the end zone. He throws into the end zone. Touchdown.
A 17-0 first quarter lead. Chris Miller and the Falcons were pouring it on while the Jets were looking for a way to stop the bleeding. They found it in quarterback Browning Nagel, who was making his first NFL start.
The Cubs will check it to the two guys' side, okay? All right? Remember how we practiced it yesterday? Everything all right? Yep. All right, nothing hurt, boys. Let's go to work.
The Jets' offense may not be a run and shoot, but with Nagel, they apparently have a young gun who's not afraid to shoot first and ask questions later. And in the second quarter, he fired his first NFL touchdown pass.
Throws into the end zone. Touchdown! Al Toon makes the grab. High in the right corner. A perfect strike thrown by Browning Nagel.
That was tough though, man. Because when you're wide open, when that guy was on his back, I was like, oh. And then I had a guy slip off me.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had a guy, Brad, tried to get him and he went around him, and he slipped off me, and that's when I just came up throwing.
Oh, okay.
And I was afraid that I was going to throw it up in the first row or something.
Yeah, no, it's
While Nagel was interested in discussing his initial scoring strike, Bruce Coslip was more concerned with how to get another one.
I want you to throw it to Rob. He's killing McKyer. That's why I want 78.
With acrobatic receptions from the likes of Rob Moore, Nagel was able to go deep on Tim McKyer and Atlanta's baseball playerless secondary for 366 yards. And in the third quarter, he helped pull his team within 3.
Down to the 35, the 30, the 20, going to the goal line. Touchdown Jets. Burkett.
Chris Burkett must have been laughing at the way he spun away from Bobby Butler. But there wasn't anything remotely funny about the mistakes the Jets made that cost them the game. Brad Baxter fumbled at the 1, and Jason Starowski twice missed game-tying field goals in the second half. In this battle of two of the game's promising young quarterbacks, Chris Miller escaped the victor. He'll have to be just as sharp Sunday to beat Washington.
1-0, baby. 15 more to go.
Also ready to play in their new dome, the Falcons against the New York Jets. A couple of teams that made the playoffs a year ago. And here we go. The new dome in Hotlanta will host the Super Bowl not this year, but next year. And you know who that is. Jerry Glanville, shades indoors. Man on the spot, Browning Nagel, second-year quarterback making his first start, fumbles the first play from scrimmage. Mike Reed has it, but loses it. The Jets seem to recover, and it looked like Reed never really had possession, but the whistle blew, and so the Jets don't get it back, and it hurt Nagel. The Falcons' offense, Andre was not a bad moon rising today. He was in street clothes, having just signed, but Remember when they opened the Dome a couple of weeks ago? Miller to Haynes on the first play. Didn't quite happen today, but several plays later, Chris Miller, Michael Haynes, touchdown, 15 yards, 10-0 Atlanta. Bruce Coslett to Pete Carroll as defensive coordinator. Wow, these guys are tough, aren't they? We got to stop them. Not yet. Miller to Haynes. It's a pretty throw, a pretty catch. 17-0 Atlanta after the first quarter. But if Browning Nagel was nervous early, boy, did he get it in gear the final 3 quarters. Let's open it up, and they do. The flea flicker. Now, I want you to watch that he gets popped, but still how much mustard he gets on the ball despite getting popped, and Rob Moore catches it for 23 yards. Now, on this play, it's Nagel. Now, McKyer thinks he steps front and has an interception, but the refs say no.
Yeah, McKyer steps in front of Rob Moore, and the referee ruled here that part of his body, at least, was out of bounds on the play.
McKyer upset. The Jets get a field goal. It's still 17-3. Now Nagel to Rob Moore with a great catch of 41 yards with the Jets down 20-3. And then Al Toon, no regular season touchdowns last year, has one in game 1 this year, 20-10 at the half. The Jets didn't crumble. They're within 10 at the half. Why was Toon so open? Bobby Butler on the left side of the screen falls down. Toon wide open. Nagel saw him. Nagel on the day's 366 yards. Second half. Watch Nagel to Chris Burkett. Has time at the softer pass. And a guy you're going to be hearing about, the tight end, the rookie Johnny Mitchell. Another nice soft pass by Nagel, 24 yards. After an interference penalty on Tim McKyer, Brad Baxter, usually money in the bank. Short yardage, forget it. The bank was busted. Fumbled on the 2. Tuggle stripped him. Scott Case gets the ball. Big play in the game. The Jets were about to go within 3. Coslett knows it would haunt him, but the Jets come back. Gun to Chris Burkett. Makes the move on the veteran Bobby Butler, and he's gone. 37 yards. Jets trail Atlanta 20-17. On the ensuing kickoff, huge play. Eric Pegram 7 can't handle it. It's a fumble. Eric McMillan picks it up and is taken down at the 1, but the refs say his forward momentum was stopped. The whistle blew, not there, but right there before he fumbled the ball. The Jets feel it should have been theirs, but you're not going to turn it around. So the Jets miss a break there, but the Jets get the ball back in the 4th quarter. 41-yard field goal. Jason Starofsky didn't miss in the preseason. Doink! Off the upright, the Jets still trail 20-17. Not phased. Young Browning Nagel brings him back. Play action. Zip! 51 yards to Rob Carpenter, burning McKyer. Starofsky from 42 yards out. He beat out Raul Allegre, but maybe they're thinking about re-signing Raul after those 2 big misses by Starofsky. They would cost him as Atlanta ground out a nice drive to end the game. And Jerry Glanville, 1-0 in his new dome. After a huge first quarter, they hold on for dear life. Despite Nagel's heroics, it was the Falcons over the Jets, 20-17. I mean, Tommy, Atlanta, we've seen these sort of close ball games before, haven't we?
Well, typical Jerry Glanville game by his Atlanta Falcons. You know, they're scrapping around, they're hustling, they're getting to the football, they gang tackle, they cause the turnovers, and they do enough to win, even with a banged up and partly missing secondary. But if you're a Jets fan, I think you have to be impressed with Browning Nagel and his numbers. He threw for 366 yards today, 2 TDs, no INTs, and maybe more importantly, Chris, this kid can take some plays that you can't even have in the playbook if you have another quarterback.
Well, that's right. And it's only a Kenny O'Brien comment that you're making. There are really only about 6 or 7 quarterbacks that go and throw across the grain like he can. It'll be interesting to see what they can do. And one thing I noticed about the Jets, last year, down 20-3 early, they would have had no poise and might have got blown out. They came right back, didn't quite win. Herschel.
Kicks.
The snap, the kick on the way, and it is no good.
No good summed up the play of New York's other winless team in Pittsburgh.
O'Brien is back again. Uh-oh, his pass is picked off. This is Larry Griffin coming down the field with the ball. He's to the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5.
The Jets turned the ball over 7 times and allowed Barry Foster to rumble for 190 yards and 2 scores. the best performance by a Steeler back in 22 years.
Foster running the right, coming down the sideline, the 40, the 35, the 30, running for dear life, the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, hit into the end zone.
Pittsburgh's Barry surprisingly leads the NFL in rushing, but Detroit's Barry still made some moves to marvel at Sunday.
Jets and Steelers. Barry Foster, remember a couple of years ago at Candlestick Park, it was his second half kickoff. He let it bounce. It went as the longest onside kick ever. Well, things are different for Barry Foster. 7-yard run, then a 9-yard run. Think Chuck Noll knew what he was doing when he kept him through all that? I think so. Bill Cowher's happy he's a Steeler. 23-yard run by Foster, 7-3 Pittsburgh over the Jets. Browning Nagel impressed in his first start last week for New York. But today, Gerald Williams nailed it. Donald Evans recovers the fumble. That's the stunt by Williams, Tommy.
Yeah, Williams stunts by center Jim Sweeney and shoots the gap here, causes the fumble because Nagel never even had a chance to see him as he tried to get back.
O'Donnell for the Steelers to Merrill Hodge. Doink, and into the hands of Michael Brim. And he's gone. Brim is gone. 77 yards. 10-7 the Jets. 10-7 last seconds of the half. Blair Thomas looks for more, but it's a fumble. And the Steelers recover it. Donald Evans does the job. Next play, and a big play. Watch the Hail Mary. You never complete these. But O'Donnell does to Jeff Graham. And O'Donnell, way back 50 yards, has called timeout. The Jets and Steelers thought the half was over. Bruce Conslett thought so, but they put 2 seconds back on the clock. That allows Gary Anderson to kick a 28-yard field goal. That allows the Steelers to tie the game at 10-10 at the half, and Bruce Conslett says we're number one. Second half, more Barry Foster. Look at him churn for 54 yards and a touchdown. 17-10 Steelers. Foster did fumble 3 times, but had 33 carries for 190 yards. The best Steeler rushing effort since Frenchie Fuqua had 218 yards back in 1970. Scary moment, Browning Nagel hits his thumb on the helmet of Gerald Williams, had to go out of the game, was x-rayed. Ken O'Brien came in, his first pass. DJ Johnson picks it off. O'Brien's third pass. Larry Griffin picks it off. He's got a convoy into the end zone. The Steelers, again, defensively, force the Jets, as they did Warren Moon's Oilers last week, to turn it over. 7 Jets turnovers. And Pittsburgh's Bill Cowher, the first guy to ever coach in 3 Rivers for the Steelers other than Chuck Noll, is now 2-0. The Steelers beat the Jets 27-10. X-rays, no late word yet on Browning Nagel, although he did return to the sideline with his hand in ice. All right, the Oilers and the Colts.
Here we go, Irv. Whip those war clubs. Let's go. Here we go. I'm one.
Come on. Club or no club. Well, you gotta get the job done, baby. We're clubbing to death. Clubbing to death. Clubbing to death. We got the patented club here. Clubbing to death, baby.
Let's knock them on their backs, butt them in the mouth, knock their ass in the dirt. That's what we got to do.
Here we go, O. Come on, see. Ain't no guarantees in life, baby.
While there may be no guarantees in life, there are promises like the one Bruce Conslett made that his Jets would beat the 49ers on Sunday. With injured starter Browning Nagel sidelined, Coslett's promise rested on the shoulders of Ken O'Brien, but the only thing O'Brien could count on was constant 49er pressure, as Tim Harris recorded 3 of the 4 sacks against the spirited but overmatched Jets line.
The tide will turn, but you can't, hey, what's been happening, what's happened is over. You just got to stay to what you're doing. Stick with your net and keep believing. That's what we got to have. Does everybody understand that? Yeah. Just hang in there tough. Come on, it'll work. Don't worry about that. Hey, just everybody pick it up a little bit. You ought to start feeling a little better now.
The Jets couldn't contain the 49ers on either side of the ball, even after John Taylor was lost with a broken leg on San Francisco's first possession. But another pretty good receiver named Jerry Rice helped keep the Niners' offense in step. With 5 catches, Rice drove the Jets' secondary buggy, as even the rare Meadowlands moth couldn't keep him covered.
Silence of the Lambs. Mike.
If this was Silence of the Lambs, then Steve Young was Hannibal Lecter. The 49ers' cold-blooded quarterback ripped the Jets through the air, slashed them on the ground, and to the horror of more than 70,000 onlookers, had them for lunch all day. It was an Academy Award-winning performance that every would-be director wanted to take a peek at through the lens.
Hey, but like the whole camera.
You guys want to play right tackle?
No. Look out there.
I'll play a little cameraman. I can do it. I've shown that I can do it before. A couple years ago in Hawaii, I was the man on the camera. You're replaceable, believe me. All of us are.
The 49ers do have some irreplaceable stars, but for now, Steve Young continues to ease the pain felt by the absence of Joe Montana. If he keeps it up, Young could have the 49ers pointed back to the Super Bowl, but that's not a promise. After all, as the Jets learned on Sunday, there are no guarantees in football.
You know, we had heard all week that their coach had promised a victory. And, you know, I don't see how anyone can do that. You have to come out and play. You know, maybe that was a motivating factor for him to try to get his club motivated. I don't know, but, you know, you just can't guarantee things like that.
The 49ers and the Jets. The 49ers with their second trip of the year to the Meadowlands, and earlier in the week, Bruce Coslett said, we're going to win for the Jets.
It's one win or one loss. It is not the make or break of the New York Jets. We're going to go out and win the damn game, though.
Except for one thing. The 49ers were coming off a loss. They couldn't afford to be 1-2, could they? Steve Young, way over 400 yards passing last week. Look at this. Ricky Waters hands to Jerry Rice, and then on the reverse, look at Young out in front, making a block for Jerry Rice. Young to John Taylor. A great grab, but his left leg sandwiched. Broken fibula, gone at least 6 weeks. So if Taylor is out, if you're Steve Young, Tommy, where do you think you're going to go?
Jerry Rice.
Good idea, good pass, good catch, 7-0 Niners. Bruce Coslett's offense couldn't get going because Tim Harris sacked Ken O'Brien not once, not twice, but he's going to do it 3 times.
And that's why the 49ers brought him there for the pass rush.
So they made him forget Charles Haley at least for one game. Coslett says, you know what, I'm going to go for it on 4th and 6. Back judge says that's very interesting, but with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter, you got to run a play better than this on 4th and 6. Blair Thomas, nothing, and the Niners take over on downs. So Jerry Rice is covered. What a story Mike Sherrard has been. Zip, 47 yards past the outstretched arm of Mike Prim. Then Young. Boy, he can run, and he doesn't shy from a collision if there is one. There really wasn't one. 10-yard run, 14-0, the Niners. O'Brien. Tipped by Merton Hanks. Larry Roberts, number 91, rubbed before he's pulled down to the 32-yard line. What, says Bruce. Moria wants Roy Foster. Boom. Clear the way. And Young goes inside the 10, which sets up a pass to Jamie Williams. 8-yard touchdown, 24 Niners at the half. Remember last week at the Meadowlands, they wanted to leave at halftime? But Bill Sims, when the Giants were playing there, almost got them back even with the Cowboys. Would that happen against the 49ers? No. Tom Rathman with the block. 14-yard run by Steve Young. Ricky Waters. He's looked good, and now he has a touchdown to his credit in the NFL. 31-0 San Francisco. Waters, 17 carries, 55 yards. Got a penalty, and I'll tell you what, the Niners spanked the Jets. The final, San Francisco 31, the Jets 14. The Niners, you saw 31 points in all 3 of their games. They're now 2-1. And after the game, Bruce Coslett tried to explain what he meant earlier in the week.
Some of the local editors chose to guarantee a victory. I never said that. I said we were going to win. What was I supposed to say? We're going to lose?
But knowing O'Brien can't scramble, too well.
Yeah, but, I mean, we were...
Was that in the back of your mind?
No, it wasn't in the back of my mind. I mean, our main thing is getting upfield, make sure we're bringing everything inside to make him sit in the pocket and get him once he's in the pocket. That's our main thing.
Yeah, and people, what was Bruce Cousins supposed to say? We're going to lose? No, but they were playing a 49er team, Tommy, that was 1-1 after the loss of the Buffalo Bills. And, I mean, let's face it, 1-2, they started that way last year, and they missed the playoffs. Wasn't going to happen again, was it?
No, Chris, we talk about this often when we're watching the games. The 49ers are a great team, and what they have is great killer instinct. When they play teams that they, quote-unquote, are supposed to beat, they finish them off early, they get them out of the contest, they leave those teams without a hope of winning the game. And another thing that has to be encouraging for the 49ers, Ricky Watters has given them their best consistency as a running back since Roger Craig.
It's the San Francisco Giants that are moving out of Candlestick, perhaps. But if the Niners ever do that, they ought to play in the Meadowlands, because 2 games there this year against the Giants and Jets, they won both of them 31-14. The bad news for the Jets, they're 0-3. The good news for the Jets, the last team to start 0-3 and make the playoffs, 1981. Jets, Jets. However, in the last 11 years, it's the only team that's been able to do that. So it's a tall order, although they have a better schedule now the next 3 weeks and then a bye.
Other end of the spectrum, the New York Jets met the Los Angeles Rams last week in Anaheim, where thoughts of undefeated seasons are located a few miles away in Fantasyland.
The Rams Research and Development Department has created a deadly new aerosol. With one quick pregame spray, defenders are transformed into bloodthirsty demons. Case in point. Mild-mannered linebacker Kevin Green before being sprayed. Moments later, the sinister transmutation is complete. And you thought the only feared green monster resided in Fenway.
Wide receiver still in. Nagel goes back to the goal line. He's hit there and driven in his own end zone. He's still free, and he's thrown for a safety.
It's still in play. It's still in play.
Yes, the ball is play. He fumbled in the end zone.
It's picked up by Freeman McNeil. McNeil comes out of the end zone. He's out to the 10-yard line and down to the 11-yard line.
Wow. It's going to be a good call. This is going to be an interesting call.
And Mark Wright is still having a discussion about it.
Let's see how they score this now.
Here's Mark Wright to explain it.
We have a safety.
The most mysterious transformation of all, the Jets from a 5-0 preseason team at the top to an 0-4 regular season flop.
The drive started at the Ram 22, and now Everett back to throw. Looking, he fires high to the end zone. This one is going to be caught. Touchdown, Rams! Flipper Anderson!
For the Jets, next up are the Patriots, and after a winless September, New Yorkers have been seen purchasing some spray cans of their own. Heavy-duty deodorant. To be just as sharp Sunday when his Colts host the Jets, who have suffered through a dark and dreary season thus far. In fact, it's been so bad for the Jets and Patriots, we thought about showing this entire highlight package and fast forward. But then you'd miss out on the performance turned in by Irving Pryor, who looks so sweet in slow motion.
Takes the snap. He sets, he pump fakes, he shoots it long and deep. His man is open. Pryor, touchdown. How about that? Millen, straight back, looks, fires, end zone, touchdown. Irving.
Despite excellent coverage by teammate Michael Timpson, Pryor hung on. A 5th straight New York loss, it was enough to make former Jets great Pat Leahy break into tears. But new defensive coordinator, Captain Lou Albano, wouldn't stand for it. And his ringside presence inspired the Jets to record 7 sacks of Hugh Millen. Jets quarterback Browning Nagel took his shots as well, but managed to fire a pair of scores to lead New York to its first win of the year. A 5-0 preseason had Jets fans optimistic. Now they're not quite sure what to make of their team, but they'll take the win and hope for another against the Colts Sunday. The only other team with a bye this week is the Jets, and they certainly need some time off after last Sunday's symphonic struggle in Indianapolis. The Jets and Colts locked horns in a bigger-than-life battle that featured some of the game's biggest stars.
It was very high in the air, not too deep. Great hang time. They scrambled, it's loose.
Actually, the contest bore a striking resemblance to a punt, pass, and kick reunion, as the electrifying halftime extravaganza was a mirror image of the game itself, with sure-handed pros looking no different than everyday Joes. The Colts weren't allowed to advance this muffed punt, but it's the closest either team got to the end zone in this misconducted symphony of errors. The out-of-sync Jets managed just 29 first-half yards and 8 total first downs, as the Colts and rookie defensive end Steve Empman didn't get much resistance from an inviting Jets line. The Jets didn't drive inside the Colts 30 until their game-tying field goal with 30 seconds left. And as the game reached its sudden death crescendo, the excitement of the overtime coin toss became too much to bear for the Colts' Jeff Harrod. 8 plays later, the drama built to a fever pitch.
It's going to be a 47-yard try. Biasucci has it faced off. Barry Krause has his fingers crossed.
I got him, baby.
There's a snap. It's down. The kick is underway. It's good. It's good. Steve Biasucci buries one from 47 yards out, and the Colts win it in overtime. After missing 3 out of 4, Steve Biasucci makes up for it all.
While the Colts and Jets jointly managed to avoid a single... The Bills have long been the AFC's brightest lights, but in recent weeks they've dimmed considerably. At the Meadowlands on Monday night, however, Buffalo switched on the incandescent Thurman Thomas, who lit up the Jets for 142 rushing yards. This 19-yard Thomas carry set up a Kenneth Davis touchdown.
Tight ends, and here is the leap into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Bills' other first-half touchdown came on a Jim Kelly to James Lofton scoring pass. Buffalo led at the intermission 14-6, but the desperate Jets played the second half like their season was hanging in the balance. A pair of touchdown runs, including one by Pat Chafee, enabled New York to assume a 20-17 advantage.
Again, waiting, no, Chafee, he's in, touchdown.
But with less than 2 minutes to play, Kelly led the Bills on a 75-yard, 7-play drive that consumed just 59 seconds. The capper was a 12-yard strike to Thurman Thomas.
Gets Gets it off in time. Throws. Touchdown.
Bruce Kozlick's disappointing Jets fell to 1-6, but the Patriots remain the sole occupants of the AFC East cellar, a place they're not likely to escape after playing Marv Levy's Bills this weekend.
Monday Night Football game, or just another wacky flavor combo they wouldn't even touch at Baskin-Robbins. Let's taste test. But who was playing?
It's a classic contest. Who's playing? Well, it's your Bills, of course, and it's your Jets, of course.
Thank you, Dave. First quarter, Bruce Smith getting to know Browning Nagel. Nagel tries to get up, then Irv Eatman joins the pile, and then the whole tri-state area jumps in as well. Bruce Kozlick getting physical as well, because Bruce wants a piece of somebody here. His team is inspired, and away they go. Well, Eatman would get a penalty. Bruce trying to take on anybody. Late in the first half, 3-0 Jets. Kelly, Andre Reed, 37 yards on the 3rd and 15. They're in business. Thurman Thomas rumbling for 20 yards down to the Jets' 2-yard line. So Thurman takes him down to the 2-yard line. Marv Levy said, all right, now you come out. They bring in Kenneth Davis, their designated scorer, 7-3 Bills. Jets look to answer. Browning Nagel, Rob Moore. Nagel again. Rob Moore. One more time, and one that will show up on the highlight reel. Rob Moore setting up a field goal, 7-6 Bills. Late in the first half, Kelly, Lofton, score. 14-6 Bills at the break. It was 17-13 Bills fourth quarter. Kelly to Andre Reed, drilled by Mike Brim. Mo Lewis recovers, gets to the Bills' 40-yard line. And don't count out the Jets, Jets. Nagel, Henry Jones. The great return after the pick, and trying to put this game out of reach for the Jets. Well, that wouldn't happen because the Jets do not give up the fake punt. Pat Chaffee gets the first down. He would also score a touchdown tonight. 3rd and 7. They run again. Thomas is short of the first down. What is Bruce going to do? 4th and 3, and Nagel just threw this one up. Bruce, what is he thinking on that play? So, Buffalo's ball, but the Jets would get another chance. Nagel, shaken up, he would leave. Kenny O'Brien putting the O into O'Brien. And the touchdown, well, they call pass interference on Jamie Williams. Brad Baxter goes in from a yard out. 20-17 Jets. Nagel congratulating Ken O'Brien. Levy, he's still got another chance. Jim Kelly, how about some fourth quarter magic? How about some 2-minute magic? Don Beebe, maybe the fastest player on this team. 33 yards to the 49. Would he beat the play clock? That's it in the left-hand part of your screen. He got it off. There was a little bit of controversy because it proved to be the game-winning score. Kelly to Thurman Thomas. And the Jets, once again, they're creative. You got to give them credit. They know how to lose games in so many different ways. 24-20 the final. Kelly, the 10th time in his career he has had a fourth quarter comeback with less than 2 minutes to go. The 3rd time he's done so against the Jets. Jim Kelly, touchdown passes against the opponents. He loves the Jets. 25 touchdowns, including a couple tonight. He's also done quite well against Indianapolis. He has thrown more TD passes against the Jets than any other team. And, of course, you like what he does against the AFC East, Miami and New England. They struggled from 1984 to 1987 against the Jets, but from 1987 to 1992, they have been in control, 10-0, and averaging 27 points while giving up 12. They pulled this one out, and I think at the end of the season, it'll be one where they say, we were very fortunate to get past this one. It may prove very beneficial because Miami coming off that loss at home against the Colts, very, very big for the Bills.
And the Bills are now 1-0 in games which David Letterman joins the Monday Night Football crew, too. Don't forget.
Meadowlands, the spirit of Halloween was alive, and the Dolphins and Jets got into the swing of things with some bizarre plays. Take this Dan Marino to Keith Jackson pass. It began as a sure Jet interception. It ended as a trick-and-treat Dolphin touchdown. But the ghosts of All Hallows Eve were not always so kind to the high-priced Miami tight end.
Three wide receivers are in. Back to passes Marino. Steps into the pocket, throws down the middle, and it's caught by the big guy, Keith Jackson. One man to beat. He throws past him, but he's caught from behind. Fumble, loose ball, rolling along the far sideline. And it goes. It's still fought for. It's still loose, and the Jets recover. Penalty markers are all over the field.
New York's own new tight end, Johnny Mitchell, had an easier time holding on to the ball.
O'Brien back to pass. Throws deep down the left side, and it's caught by Mitchell. Mitchell down to the 15-yard line. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, goes to the 5-yard line. Touchdown! Johnny Mitchell, the rookie.
Ken O'Brien hit on 21 of 29 passes, good for 3 touchdowns, while the Jet defense clamped down on Dan Marino, giving New York its second victory of the season. Next up for the Dolphins are the Colts, who shocked Miami a few weeks back when Steve Entman's...
The Dolphins and the Jets. You know, the last time the Jets looked good in the regular season was at the end of last year when they won in overtime at Miami to forge their way into the playoffs. Now, it took another sighting of the Miami Dolphins to allow the Jets, at least for just one afternoon, to regain that playoff look. Ken O'Brien subbing for the injured Browning Nagel, and he's had great success against the Dolphins over the year. He's never had Johnny Mitchell before, and the Dolphins said, whoa, we can't tackle this rookie. Mitchell back after an injury, 39-yard touchdown. Browning Nagel will be throwing to him for a lot of years. He likes it, 7-0 Jets. Aguiar, the short hop, does a good job there. And watch this, just like they diagrammed it. The short hop, coffin corner, out of bounds punt at the 2. Dan Marino on the shotgun, 3rd down. Marvin Washington drags him down, and Tommy, it's 9-0 Jets.
Yeah, they have the double blitz package coming from the left of your screen. The tackle takes on the inside guy. Marvin Washington comes free. 2 points.
And our boy, the Silver Bullet, R.J. Core, is involved with that play. O'Brien to Chris Burkett. Great concentration, 21 yards. Blair Thomas out, which means the veteran. Freeman McNeil is in. Like the old days, O'Brien to Freeman McNeil. O'Brien looking mobile to McNeil for 7. And the play-action rollout. Kenny's got all sorts of time. Altoon, touchdown, 16-0 Jets.
And there may not be a better short receiver in the game. Here he fights out inside, fights back outside, moves with his quarterback, gives him a little window there to complete the touchdown pass.
Marino to Keith Jackson. Oh, let me tell you about Keith Jackson, but it's a fumble. Rumbling, fumbling, stumbling. Whoa, it's still in bounds. Eric McMillan with a good play to keep it in bounds, and Brian Washington recovers for the Jets. So, O'Brien and Mitchell make the Dolphins pay with a circus grab of the rookie. O'Brien to Rob Moore. Where's this been all year? 23-0 Jets at the half. A big first half for Ken O'Brien, almost 200 yards. Don Shula's tan looks good, but his team does not. 3rd quarter. Marino. Pass tipped by Mo Lewis, but maybe the tide turning. Oh, Keith Jackson at the touchdown, 23-7. 4th quarter. Does the Dolphins have a comeback? Well, O'Brien's pass, does it bounce off the turf? Well, they ruled it Bestie Jackson did make the interception. And Miami's Marino make them pay. Beautiful pass to Mark Super Duper. All of a sudden, 23-14. Bruce Coslin says, we can't let this one slip away. Ken O'Brien says, don't worry about it, big guy. To Altoon for a 1st down. The rollout to Mark Boyer for a 1st down. Cary Blanchard, since they picked him up 7 for 7 field goals. This is a 47-yarder, now it's 26-14. Miami needs 2 touchdowns. 6 minutes to go. Could Dan Marino forge a comeback? To Mark Clayton. Zip. Inside the 40. Almost up to the midfield stripe. Defensive coordinator Pete Carroll wants to shift his troops. But Clayton takes the little dump off and turns it into a 17-yard pickup. This time the Jets collapse Marino's pocket and the sack. 4th and 14. Shotgun for Marino. The Jets send a blitz. 3 guys coming. Incomplete. Marino and the Dolphins come away empty-handed. The Jets coaching staff and players rejoice. A close call Monday night loss to the Bills and an impressive win over the Dolphins, 26-14. Miami has now lost 2 games in a row And afterwards, Marino says, you know, you just can't show up and expect to win all the time.
You have to realize, no matter who you are, I mean, you're going to play each and every week, and you have to play, solid football in order to win football games. And you can't, just go out there and throw your helmet on and think you're just going to walk on a field and win and beat teams. I don't care who you're playing or who you might think, how good you think you might be. You have to play each and every week, and you have to play good, solid football in order to win in the NFL.
One other note, congratulations. Al Toon has now caught passes in 100 straight games. See East. Buffalo at 6-2. Let's go back to the Jets-Miami game because, it would be a heck of a run for the Jets to even think about getting in the playoff hunt. But, with Kenny O'Brien there, the reason he's done so well in the past against Miami, Tommy, the Jets were able to protect for him. When he has time, he's got a lot of weapons. It was the same today.
Yeah, and we often talk about one team having a number of another team. This is a case of a quarterback who has the number of another team. If they give him protection, he's always successful as long as he doesn't have to be mobile. And I think also contributing to that, as Johnny Mitchell gets into this lineup and matures as a receiver, he's going to be used to put pressure on the inside of the defense. And you saw O'Brien throwing the ball to everybody today. But he started it off with Mitchell.
Yeah, he did, and he feels good against the Dolphins, and maybe the Jets can get back going because they finally look like the team that they were, and Miami doesn't look like the team that they were, and say it's a weird year. There are no front runners. That's a later discussion.
New York Jets. In Denver, New York's quarterback tandem watched while the Broncos' John Elway called his own plays, then connected on the longest regular season touchdown pass of his 10-year career, 80 yards to rookie Arthur Marshall. And if Jets receivers could have held on to the ball, there may have been a different outcome to the game.
Neal back there, back to passes. Kenny O'Brien sets up, throws angling on the left side. It's in and out of the hands, intercepted, running down along the near sideline. He may go for a touchdown along the near side.
The Broncos, 5-0 at home this year, must face the Giants this week at Mile High. They've not had much success with the NFC East, scoring just 3 total points against the Redskins and Eagles.
Short and sweet. Usually what Denver is at home to their opponents. They were 4-0 at Mile High going into their game with the New York Jets. Elway, Nagel, Kenny O'Brien talking about throwing that pigskin. Nagel misreads the play, throws behind Al Toon. Then Browning Nagel, the youngster, back into the fray after a week off. Try that dim range. Then Nagel off the wrong foot. Underthrows Johnny Mitchell. Now Elway's turn. Shotgun much of the first half. Early on, John was a little high and wide, overthrows Vance Johnson. Then off the fake, looking for Mark Jackson. So can the Broncos run the ball?
Well, they didn't even try to run the ball early, Chris. I think that's the point. They came out committed to passing the football today.
So what's wrong, John? Well, I'll tell you what. Not much. From deep in his own end. The frozen rope to Arthur Marshall. 80 yards, just like that. Elway strikes 10-3. The touchdown dance for Marshall, his first career TD. Now Conkling's team has added a field goal, 10-6. And Nagel comes out in favor of Ken O'Brien for the 2-minute drill. The pass off the hands of Freeman McNeil into the hands of Wyman Henderson. And he just could go all the way. Nice cutback into the end zone. Key play here in the final 2 minutes. Well, usually it's Elway doing the job. This time the defense does the job. 17-6 Broncos. Nagel. Play fake. And Rob Moore, 25-yard touchdown. It's 20-13. Nice concentration right in front of the goalpost. Then Nagel to Freeman McNeil. Freeman looked good last week, but today, boy, he really hurt him. Recovered by Lee Lo Lang. Elway back to work. To Marshall across the middle. A catch and carry. 24 yards. Sets up, oh my goodness, a run?
Yeah,
Greg Lewis.
Yes, and as you watch Greg Lewis here, he stopped, he stuffed. Watch the surge by the offensive line. And there he is underneath it, right there. The ball has crossed the plane.
Pete Carroll's young Chargers looked good last week against Miami. Winning at Mile High Stadium against the Broncos is another story altogether. The Broncos continue to be the pace setters of the AFC West at 6-3. They beat the Jets by the count of 27-16.
signed a contract, they didn't tell me it was going to get cold up here and windy. But it's fun. We're having fun still. Trying to get some wins. Start off today and have some fun and get one of those.
On a sunny, windswept afternoon on which both quarterbacks completed only a third of their passes, Browning-Nagel's 34-yard rainbow to Rob Moore was the longest of the day by far. It sparked an unexpected and unanswered 17-point scoring barrage by the Jets.
Wide to the left side, a double reverse. Mathis has the ball. He has a blocker in front. He's going to go all the way around the right end. Touchdown.
Seldom has Bruce Coslet's team had the luxury of a lead and a shutout as late as the third period. And when the final quarter dawned, the Bengals began a comeback based on exploiting the lowest-ranked run defense in the AFC.
Takes it a pitch out wide to the left side. Fenner has a blocker in front. Cuts downfield, down to the 10. Keeps going. Touchdown! The Bengals are very much back in.
At 17-14, the Bengals were back in, and the Jets appeared on their way out, staggering badly while trying to protect their slender three-point lead.
Rolls to the near side, now throws back over the middle, and it's picked off by the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, I'm sure Bruce will have something to say to Browning-Nagel.
Why did you float that ball?
Because he had him beaten. I tried to lay it up and over the end.
You're not giving them enough time to punch and cut, okay? You got to drill that one. Okay, we never thrown it in practice like that. Do it like you did it in practice, okay? What we need to do is no turnovers, no risky throws, make sure of the snaps every time, make sure of the handoff. You got to play smart within yourself now. We don't need the big play. You got to rein yourself. I'm going to get mad at you, okay?
That's fine.
But I don't hold any grudges, neither should you.
I don't.
Okay, be careful.
I am.
Okay.
I had it.
It's just part of being on the field, okay?
I know that. I understand that.
Okay. Well, you're learning.
And the offense learned how to run out the clock with some gentle prodding from Coslet.
It's your job to make the running game go. You better compete. All right? You understand? Get it done.
Again, he drives up the middle, breaks down on the cliff, cuts to the left side. He's out in the open, down to the 40, the 35, the 30-yard line, along the far sideline, and he's bulldog down at the 20-yard line. Big play.
Oh, big play. That's a big-time play.
For Bruce Coslet, it was a much welcomed third win made all the sweeter, coming at the expense of former teammates and friends.
Hey, Jimmy, way to go. Hey, you too, Rodney. Boomer, give me a call next week. Give me a call. That's an example of a team now that finds a way to make it close. Good example of our team not letting them do it. They didn't do it, period. We win. Okay? Don't let anybody take that away from you.
3-0, 2-minute warning in the second quarter. Nagel's going to go deep for Rob Moore. Now, they call this pass interference on Eric Thomas. Wow.
Yeah, as you watch Eric Thomas here, it looks like he does a great job of playing the football. You can see his left arm right there, down around his waist. Doesn't look like he gives Rob a push. Bad call.
But the Jets cash in. Brad Baxter rustles into the end zone, and it's 10-0 Jets.
Gary Reason circles right there, leaves the ground. You can't change directions in the air. Just missed his target.
Gary Reason's in the Meadowlands as a Bengal. That's weird. Bruce Coslet says keep it on the ground. So a thrilling 1-yard run by Baxter. Then Baxter for 8. He's been close to 100 yards the last couple of weeks. Baxter for 14 yards. Pat Chafee. That's right, Blair Thomas out injured. Pat Chafee for 13. Pat Chafee for 10. And here's Freeman McNeil.
Yeah, all those runs set up this reverse. Here comes Freeman McNeil. Terrence Mathis gets the great block right there on Mike Fryer to spring him into the end zone.
So the reverse, and the Jets lead at 17-0 on a 6-play drive. All runs, and Mathis can dance. Boomer struggling, 11 of 33 today, but remember his comebacks the last couple of weeks. Boomer to Carl Slim Pickens, and interference on Eric McMillan. So 3 plays later, ex-Seattle Seahawk Derek Fenner on the draw play makes a nice move at the 3. Good block by Tim McGee, 17-7. Then Fenner, Anthony Munoz, everyone clears out of the way. Munoz doesn't even have to hit anybody. The Jets fall down. Touchdown, 17-14. Coslet's Jets up by only 3. 3rd and 5. Key play. Browning-Nagel. Back to pass. Scrambles. Shakes a tackler. Picks up a first down. Had to leave the game on that play. An aggravated sprained arch. Probably be back next week. Carrie Blanchard's been pretty good for the Jets, but missed a pair of field goals late. And so David Chul and Boomer Esiason have one last chance. A minute to go. Jeff Query for 14 yards. Boomer to Jeff Query for 6 yards. 3 incompletions later, you know what's coming. The old Hail Mary. And James Hasty hastily bats it away. No late finish for the Bengals this time. Their 2-game winning streak snapped. And the Jets, it wasn't pretty, but the Jets do win at home against the Cincinnati Bengals by the count of 17-14.
You know, there are several teams playing like turkeys last week. The Bengals lost a game in the jungle. The Colts and Falcons got blown out by good teams, and the Jets did them one better. They got blown out by the Pilgrims in New England.
It was a great day to be Patriot quarterback Scott Zolak. No playoff pressure and a rare second straight start. It was a bad day to be a Jet, and an even worse day to be on the team laundry detail.
Inside, turning it to the left at the 10. He's turning the corner at the 5. He's going to go down and in.
New England had only one rushing touchdown in their first 10 games. Maybe they're mutters, as John Stevens and John Vaughn splashed in for 3 scores in the first half alone.
Inside the 10 to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, John.
Some spray and wash, bleach, and a little stain lifter should have the Pats looking spiffy for the Falcons and Dion this week.
Now, for the P-men, the Patriots possibly make it 2 wins in a row at the expense of the Jets. Patriots opening possession. John Vaughn getting his chance because of a hip injury to Leonard Russell. He makes the most of his opportunity, picking up 23 yards. Yes, this is John Vaughn for 17 yards. And then Vaughn gets the call again. 15 hard yards. Then John Stevens caps a 90-yard drive with a 13-yard touchdown run. 7-0 Patriots. Next possession, Scott Zolak takes over. So cool last week, he picked up right where he left off. Zolak looking, finds who else? John Vaughn, a 39-yard pickup. And that set up a 32-yard field goal, 10-0 pass, and Zolak, he was
G-O-L-A-K, Zolak, Zolak. I had to.
It was a given. He showed some grace under pressure, finding Marv Cook. Zolak, go on with your bad self. That set up John Vaughn from 9 yards out. 17-0 P-men. Scott Zolak, yeah, he's got that winning attitude, Boomer. They were calling for him all day, TJ.
Yeah, John Vaughn here, a great job of spreading out the defense toward the sideline. Gets 2 good kick-out blocks from his offensive line. Prances into the end zone.
110 yards, a career high for that young man. The Pats D held the Jets to 166 yards with 4 sacks and 2 interceptions. The Patriots under Scott Zolak. You're not going to sing that again.
No, that's enough.
All right. Their second straight victory. On a roll, if you will.
But last Sunday, the Chiefs took over the division lead with a 23-7 win over the Jets in the Meadowlands. The box score was highlighted by a pair of Dave Craig touchdown passes, but the headlines and the deeper story were devoted to Dennis Byrd, number 90, who received a serious spinal injury on this collision with line mate Scott Mercereau. In the Jet press guide are these words from teammate Jeff Lageman. When you see Dennis in the huddle and you look into his eyes, he's like a 270-pound kid in a candy store, acting like he's playing touch football with his buddies. He loves it. He just has a blast. Now Byrd faces surgery and a tough fight ahead. But if he attacks rehab with the same intensity and heart he played with, he'll do quite well.
Before we move on to football, though, every now and then you get reminded that football is a lot more than a game. One of the best defensive players on the New York Jets, Dennis Byrd, defensive lineman, suffered a serious neck injury today at home in the game against the Kansas City Chiefs, a game at the Meadowlands. Byrd is being examined by the spine team at New York's Lenox Hill Hospital as we speak. Now, here's the play. Byrd and teammate Scott Mercereau attempting to sack Kansas City quarterback Dave Craig Bird, number 90. You see his head snap back after the collision. He's carted off. All parts of his body are being held still after being evaluated. Bird underwent the CAT scan. Bruce Cosler.
It makes you reflect on how fragile things are and what's important and what's not. And our hopes and prayers, I'm talking about the players, management, doctors, all our staff, coaches, everybody, wishes Dennis the best, and our prayers are with him, and he's fighting it right now.
As results have become available, we will pass that along. I mean, you look at a team like the New York Jets, who had high hopes as a ball club going undefeated in the preseason. Now in the span of 3 days, their best offensive player, Al Toon, retires because of concussions and post-concussion syndrome. Their best defensive player, Loggeman, already hurt. Their next best defensive player, Dennis Bird, we are hoping that maybe it's just a bruise and not worse news. So you get a reminder that it's a lot more than the game, and everybody's hopes and prayers, ours, yours, I'm sure, with Dennis Bird of the New York Jets.
Yet another dose of reality for the Jets and their game against the Chiefs. First quarter, Chiefs' first possession. Barry Word never handles the handoff and gets swarmed by the Jets' defense. Next play, Word stuffed again for no gain. But then Dave Craig, he fakes the handoff and then hits J.J. Burton for 17 yards. Now, why did this play work, TJ?
If you look here, you see 9 men at the line of scrimmage for the Jets. They're definitely going to be able to stop the run, but that's why you play pass.
Chiefs go back to the air. Craig hits Burton, 8 more yards. Still the first drive. Back to the ground. Word wide right gets 6 yards. After a penalty, Word gets 3 more yards. To this point, the Chiefs' drive lasted 13 plays, 8 minutes, 30 seconds. A sure touchdown, right? Well, not so fast. 3rd and goal at the 2. Craig play action, throws to a wide-open Kimball Anders, who drops it. They'd have to settle for a field goal. Meanwhile, Bruce Coslet chose to start Ken O'Brien. Second series, O'Brien hit by Benny Thompson and re-injures his right thumb. So re-enter Browning Nagel, his 3rd attempt. And his pass is deflected by Joe Phillips right there. Then, 4th and 2, Nagel's pass again deflected, this time by Neil Smith. Jets offense simply had a sink all day long, but this is the real bad news. Second play of the 3rd quarter, as we showed you earlier, Jets defensive lineman Scott Mercereau and Dennis Bird collide. On the replay, you can see Bird's head hits his teammate's shoulder. He was down on the field for about 8 minutes. Mercereau got up. He was okay, but Bird, he was carted off and taken to Lenox Hills Hospital, where he was examined by their spine team. Jet spokesman said Bird was experiencing lower body paralysis. First play after the injury, 3rd and 17. Dave Craig, a perfect strike to Willie Davis for 55 yards. That sets up Craig, play action, to keep Cash. Chiefs will lead 13-0. Next possession, Craig again the play action, this time to Davis for 17 yards. What could be next, TJ?
Well, the Chiefs and Craig love the play-action pass. Here he gives it, and that patented 3-quarter sidearm dart to Tim Barnett for a touchdown.
Chiefs led 20-0. Craig completed his final 10 passes. Had a mighty effective day. 17 of 21, 220 yards, and 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. A tough day for the Jets and their fans. Chiefs win by a final of 23-7. It's their first win ever at Giants Stadium. They have won 4 in a row and are now 8-4. But understandably, our thoughts now are with Dennis Bird.
Last week, New York visited frigid Rich Stadium, which is just now reaching the conditions Buffalonians have come to expect.
Well, I could say it's going to be high of 80 today, but I'd be lying. It's going to be about 32 degrees and a wind chill factor of about 9, and a possible chance of snow squalls later this afternoon. Welcome to Orchard Park, New York.
This is what the weather's supposed to be like, baby. This is what you call football weather.
Yes, sir. I love it. It's all psychological, baby. It's in the mind. It's in the mind. That's what it is. It's in the mind. Tell them, Luke, it's in the mind, baby. It's in the mind.
My mind's cold right
now.
Buffalo right here. How we do with no sneeze up here. That's right. Gotta get out. Gotta get out.
Instead of sleeves, the Bills could have used extra long arms to snag passes swept away in the blustery breeze. And after a while, both teams realized the long ball was no longer an option.
You got to stay with the short stuff. Good job, though. That's fine.
Browning-Nagel stuck to short and medium-range passes and made sure everything stuck to his receivers.
Downfield, throws on the run into the corner. Touchdown, 40. No, right at the goal line. Right at the goal line. Rob Moore made a leaping grab. I thought he was falling into the end zone. He did fall.
Hey, look at Rob Moore. He's got the pylon on his back.
That's right. The pylon is stuck to his back. Right to it. They pulled it off of him. But the Jets have first.
In the next series now. In the next series. Hey, listen up. In the next series, we're going to go 18 wham. Because they're coming up hard, okay? And bounce it outside. Finish your blocks off.
It was basic fundamental football, blocking and ball control in the bitter cold. Number 30, Brad Baxter, became the Jets' workhorse with 98 yards and 2 touchdowns, including the score that gave his team a 17-10 third-quarter lead.
First and goal to go, 10 yards out. The handoff goes to Baxter, trying to swing wide around his right side. He drives downfield to the 5. It goes into the end zone, and touchdown! Touchdown to the right corner, and the New York Jets go ahead.
They didn't expect it. They thought we was going to lay down for them. No way. Nah, not today. Nah. Not no cakewalk today, baby. Let's go, Dennis. Too cold. Anybody game. We doing it for Dennis Bird, baby. You never won in our hearts.
The courage of injured teammate Dennis Bird inspired the Jets' defense to stand up to the high-powered Bills in their own backyard.
Let's go. 4 plays and out. 4 and out. 4 and out, baby. You mean 3 and out. 3 whatever. Just get out. Let's go, baby.
With the score tied late in the game, safety Brian Washington produced the day's biggest play.
Pass, Kelly throws short over the intercepted. New York ball over the right side, down to the end zone. Touchdown, New York. Washington scores.
While the Bills look ahead to Denver, the Jets can look back with inspiration and reflection on a most special victory.
The New York Jets are going to win this football game for Dennis Bird, 24-17.
Hey, Kyle, you can never underestimate God, huh? Never.
D-Bird, this is for you, baby. D-Bird, baby. For you, D-Bird. We got one, baby. Buffalo, baby. All right, D-Bird.
We had Dennis Bird on the phone in there, and all the players are talking to him. And it goes without saying that he got the game ball. We thought it should be that way, and we thought that was the right thing to do. And we didn't talk a lot about dedicating the game and stuff to Dennis. We just knew what we had to do, and hey, we went out there and got it done against a hell of a team. Buffalo's a good football team, and we feel real fortunate, but we played hard and we deserved the win.
I want to congratulate the New York Jets with all they had to go through last week. I didn't think there was any way in the world they would beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo.
By Dennis Bird's week. Last week, hurt in a game, the New York Jets defensive end was against the Kansas City Chiefs, partially paralyzed. Encouraging news the last couple of days. Surgery Wednesday. He has voluntary movement in both of his big toes and yesterday in his knee. That was good news. Before the Jets game in Buffalo today, owner Leon Hess, who rarely goes into the locker room, addressed the team beforehand, said he had talked with Bird before the game, that Bird would be watching from his New York hospital bed and wanted very much that the Jets do well and play hard. Well, there was no question that the Jets played with tons of emotion today in Buffalo against the Bills. A moment of silence before the game, too, as 80,000 folks prayed for his recovery. And there you see the ictus and the number 90 the Bills wore on their helmets, too. The fans thinking of Dennis Bird. The game, 3-3, first half. Kelly to Thurman Thomas, 21 yards. Kelly to James Lofton, first down. And Kenneth Davis. First down, that's Metzelar's, then Kenneth Davis. It's a fumble! Lonnie Young knocks it loose, but they rule it's a touchdown first. And Buffalo, in their longest drive, at least for time, 7.5 minutes, 7:32, the Bills lead it 10-3. Steve Christie tried a 35-yard field goal, but the snap can't be handled by Frank Reich. Incomplete, so maybe things turning the Jets' way. Browning-Nagel starts the drive. looks smooth here. Look at the gun to Rob Moore at the goal line. Tommy, what?
Uniform violation. I know a lot about it. Got a few.
Can't wear a cone hanging from your left shoulder pad. Second and goal. Brad Baxter rustles his way into the end zone. We're tied at 10. Bills on 3rd and 1. Kenneth Davis fumbles. Lonnie Young, ever present, picks up the football, number 31. Bruce Smith tries to line up the Bills defense. 3rd and 17, Pat Chafee. Long run, just short of the first down. 4th and 2. The pass on the right flat to Rob Moore for a first down. Nagel to the former Bill Chris Burkett for a first down. Brad Baxter ran for 98 yards today. Into the end zone, is it in? Yes, it is a touchdown. 17 Jets, the Coslet Jets lead. You want to talk about athletic ability? Look at Browning Nagel fire and complete to Mark Boyer. You had the feeling on this play it was going to be a Jets day. Brian Washington, extra effort to make a tackle, out of bounds. Cost a penalty. 2nd and goal, Kelly to Pete Metzelaars. We're tied at 17. 2-minute warning. Bills 1st and 10, tie game. Kelly in the wind, almost picked off by Mike Brim. Tommy, you said at the time he looked tentative, thrown in the wind, and Brian Washington picks it off. The defense doing it for the Jets. 23 yards, it's 24-17.
You look at the replay here, you can see Kelly never sees Brian Washington. He makes the nice catch. Kelly comes over to try to keep him out of the end zone, and that's no contest.
So the defense has given the Jets a 24-17 lead. Minute 20 to go. Remember, Kelly on a Monday night brought the Bills back against the Jets. But defense again. Bill Pickell with the hit. The recovery. The Jets celebrate. And afterward, both Jets and Bills prayed on the field in a certainly emotion-filled afternoon at Rich Stadium. The Jets, for the first time in 11 tries, beat the Buffalo Bills 24-17.
Meadowlands, everyone's thoughts were on Dennis Byrd.
Last week, banners of good wishes were waving as the Meadowlands waved its ban on banners in a tribute to seriously injured Jet Dennis Byrd. Thus inspired, Bird's teammates proceeded to bury Jeff George, sacking him 5 times and forcing him from the game.
Has been yanked. The next time the Colts have the football, Jack Trudeau is warming up behind the bench, but now the defense has a job to do.
Specifically stopping this Heisman hopeful, whose perfect pose and nifty fake suggested that this frustrated footballer had more offensive skills than either offense. And while security eventually escorted this fan from the field, backup quarterback Jack Trudeau was preparing to take the field, an advantage of a porous zone defense.
Wide receiver Brooks to the right. And back to throw is Trudeau. He goes for it all. And a diving catch for the touchdown.
The Colts are hoping to keep their playoff hopes alive with a 4th consecutive victory over the Cardinals this week.
All right, we bring in Robin Roberts. Now, I tell you, the Colts, hats off to the Colts, and really hats off to the Jets last week for the way they played their fallen team at Dennis Byrd. But touchdowns when these two teams get together, not exactly easy to come.
No, a rarity. You don't expect too much scoring when the Colts and the Jets get together. But despite their poor scoring output, the Colts have put together a couple of wins, have a slim shot at making the playoffs. The Jets, of course, they're not thinking of the postseason. Their thoughts are with their fallen teammate, Dennis Byrd. And before the game, all the players from both teams met at midfield for a get-well Dennis cheer.
World's largest get-well cheer. We're going to say get well, Dennis, 3 times. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Get well.
That is great. Bird's good friend Marvin Washington delivering the message, and Byrd definitely there in spirit. Al Toon and Bruce Coslet thinking of Byrd, no doubt. That is the hand of Jeff George. Some rap, but got the start. George not too sharp. Here with the wild throw. And Jeff George a little short there. Jeff George did not get any help from the referees this afternoon.
False start before the snap. Quarterback Extraordinary body language.
What, body language? What's up with that? Ted Marchibroda not getting production from his QB. Browning Nagel tries to spark the Jets. Second quarter already 3-0 Jets. Nagel looking for Rob Moore. Is it interference, though, TJ?
Well, you see Rob Moore here make the break inside, Robin. DB just makes a good play in front of him. As long as you get your head in front, you're going to be fine.
You ought to know. First and goal at the 2. Nagel under pressure, and he overthrows Johnny Mitchell. Second and goal. Pass gets tipped. Almost picked off by Chris Dode. Third and goal. Browning Nagel. Incomplete. Jack Trudeau would replace Jeff George. And in the fourth, Trudeau goes back and finds Harry Cash, a big gainer, before being finally brought down. 2:29 left to go. Trudeau to Charles Arbuckle. Yes, a rare sighting. A touchdown. A 23-yard strike. 10-6 Colts. 2 minutes ago. Jets down by 4. Nagel finds Chris Burkett. But he fumbles. And the ball, though, it goes out of bounds. After 3 tries from the 48, Bruce Coughlin, a message for his offense. Fourth down, Nagel, his pass is tipped by Sam Clancy into the hands of Dwayne Pickett. Bruce Coughlin saw his team turn the ball over 5 times in the second half. The Colts hang on for the victory by a final of 10-6. The third straight win for the Colts. They've beaten the Jets 10 out of the last 12 times they've met. The Colts now at 500, 7-7.
Despite being snared in a web spun by the spidery arms of adversity, the Jets were seeking to sweep their season series with the Dolphins, but Dan Marino and Mark Clayton had other ideas.
Pitt going for it on fourth down, looking to pass. He throws over the side. It's complete for a first down, maybe more. It's going to be a touchdown. He pulls away and goes in.
Miami held a 7-0 lead until the third period when New York scored 2 touchdowns within a span of 16 seconds.
Roll out to the right. Nagel does, making a handoff, throws deep, way downfield, way down. Touchdown, New York! Touchdown, Rob Moore! Back to pass after faking a handoff is Marino being rushed. It's deflected up in the air. It's going to go for a touchdown. Deflected in the air to Bobby Houston, who runs it in for a touchdown. And the Jets go ahead on 2 plays. How about that?
Marino's armed response was a flanker screen to Tony Martin, who raced 55 yards for the touchdown. Pete Stoyanovich missed the extra point, however, and the Dolphins found themselves trailing 17-16. But the NFL's scoring leader got a chance to redeem himself with 12 seconds left to play.
37-yard attempt. Stoyanovich, Mitchell awaits the snap. Here it is, good snap, set down. Kick is on its way. It is gone! Stoyanovich goes from goat to hero.
And the Dolphins are going to the playoffs. This week, Don Shula's team can clinch an AFC East title if Buffalo loses and Miami beats New England.
Sunday Night Football on ESPN. The Miami Dolphins, very simple for them. Win, and they're in the playoffs. However, they were playing a New York Jets team that had beaten them earlier this year. They'd beaten them 3 in a row, and for a long time has given the Dolphins trouble. What happened to Joe Robbie Stadium? Let's go right to the videotape. Well, somebody said that before. At any rate, we're going to go with it anyway. 7-7 third quarter. Dan Marino's pass tipped and picked off by Bobby Houston, and he's good. Go all the way. 14-7, the Jets looking for the upset. Fourth quarter, same score. Marino to Tony Martin. The slant, and he's gone. He's not even flag football. Grab the flag, and maybe they'll call it a tackle. It doesn't work. 14-13. The extra point is no good. Pete Stoyanovich, one of the best kickers. Pete Carroll, the defensive coordinator of the Jets, kind of speaking a little bit too soon because Marino passing to Duper, 17 yards. Sets up with seconds to go from the 37-yard line. Pete Stoyanovich, it's good. He redeems himself. Marino and the Dolphins are in the playoffs as they beat the Jets by the count of 19-17. So, well, they thought they had the thing tied and going to overtime, and they got the ball, and they won the game, and they're in the playoffs, although it was a squeak.
the Saints' rise in popularity has been so spectacular that in 1992, 3 preseason and 6 regular season games were nationally televised. One of those broadcasts was the season ender in the Meadowlands.
Behind Browning Nagel, who's back to pass on 3rd down, has the ball taken out of his hands by Sam Mills. 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. He'll score. 40, 30, 25, 20. He'll dance to the end zone. The Saints get a turnover, and Sam Mills just stole the ball away from Browning Nagel, who had his arm cocked to throw, but never was able to pull the trigger.
I'm telling you, he just absolutely stole it from him.